Hello, dear children. Today I am going to teach you the fourth chapter of First Flight, that is from the diary of Anne Frank, which is very obvious written by Anne Frank. About Anne Frank, the author. Anne Frank in full, Anneliese Marie Frank, was born on June 12, 1929, in Frankfurt am Main, Germany. She died either in February or March, not clearly known, in 1945 in Bergen-Belsen concentration camp near Hanover. Was a Jewish girl whose diary of her family's 2 years in hiding during the German occupation of the Netherlands became a classic of war literature. Anne's writing made a deep impression on Otto. Otto was the name of Anne's father. He read that Anne had wanted to become a writer or a journalist and that she had intended to publish her stories about life in the secret annex. Secret annex is the place where they hid during the war. Friends convinced Otto to publish the diary, and in June 1947, 3,000 copies of Het Accurus, the secret annex, were printed. And that was not all. The book was later translated into around 70 languages and adapted for stage and screen. Introduction of the chapter. This chapter is an autobiography of a young girl named Anne Frank who expresses her thoughts in a diary. Anne Frank, a 13-year-old Jewish girl, was gifted a diary by his father on her 13th birthday. Since she had no true friend, she made Diary her best friend and even gave her name Kitty. She writes everything about her in this diary. At the time of invasion of Germany over Holland, Anne Frank and her family hid themselves. They hid themselves in the secret annex. This is the place which is given in the picture. At that time, she started to write in her diary. She spent 2 years in hiding, and during those years, her diary was her best friend with whom she shared all the secrets. So, let's start with the chapter. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old school girl. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I'll feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. So the chapter starts with the thought of Anne Frank. She says that writing a diary is a very unusual experience, not because she is writing for the first time, but also because she thinks that later, in the later years, nobody will be interested in knowing the thoughts or reading the thoughts of a young girl, that too of 13 years old. She even says that neither she will be interested in reading her own thoughts. Oh well, it doesn't matter. She said, no matter, because I feel like writing. I love writing, so I will write it. And secondly, she will write the diary because she thinks she has got so many secrets and so many thoughts that she wanted to express, and that's why she wants to write in a diary. Paper has more patience than people. I think all of you will agree with this, because on paper we can write our thoughts maybe in hundreds of papers, thousands of papers, but papers will never get bored. But same if we are going to do with the people. See, very less people are very good listeners, and they feel like listening your thoughts, your problems. There are very few people, but on paper you can jot down as much as you can. So, and says paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hand. Chin in my hand means depressed and distressed, bored and listless. Listless means with no energy, no interest. wondering whether to stay in or go out. So she was so much distressed. She was feeling so sad that she was not able to decide whether she should remain in the house or she should move out of the house. I finally stayed where I was brooding. Brooding means where I was in my deep thoughts. Yes, paper does have more patience, and since I'm not planning to let anyone else read this stiff backed notebook, stiff backed means hard covered notebook, she's referring to her diary, grandly referred to as diary, unless I should ever find a real friend. So she said, I will not let anyone read my thoughts until unless I find a true friend with whom I can share the thoughts. It probably won't make a bit of difference. Now I am back to the point that prompted me of keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. So why she keeps the diary on the first friend? Because she doesn't have a true friend with whom she can share all her thoughts. See, many of us have many friends, right? In the class also you may have many friends, because one but there is one or two friends with whom we share each and every thought of ours, that means our secret, and whom we call our best friend, right? So in the same way, Anne has many friends, but she did not have any true friend with whom she can share her secrets. That why she kept diary on the first place as her friend. Let me put it more clearly, since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world. Now she clarifies here that why she says that she doesn't have any true friend. Because she says that when people will hear that a 13-year-old girl is lonely and she's not having any friend, people will be surprised. So now in here in this paragraph, she is going to clear it why she said so. And I am not. And I am not means that means she is not lonely. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends. So she said, I am not alone. I have a loving parents, I have a sister, and then there are 30 people whom I can call my friends. I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. So every basic necessity she had. She had a very good home. Then she had a loving parents. She had loving aunts. Everything she was having. No, on the surface I seem to have everything except my one true friend. Though she had 30 friends, but she did not have one true friend with whom she can share everything. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. See, friends means fun, having a good time. So she said, whenever I'm with the rest, with my 30 friends, I used to enjoy a lot. I used to have a good time. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary, everyday things. But the thing was, she could talk on only the normal things with them. Sorry, we don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. And where the problem lies, she could not confine herself in those friends. Maybe it's my fault that we don't confide in each other. So she take the responsibility. She says कि maybe it is my fault that I don't rely on those friends and I cannot confine in them and share my thoughts with them. Maybe it's my problem. In any case, that's just how things are, and unfortunately, they are not liable to change. So she accepted that she doesn't have any true friend, and she thinks that the situation is like that, and this is not going to change further. This is why I have started the diary. So the reason is clear. It's not that she's not having a single friend, it's that she does not have a true friend. That's why she started writing a diary. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do. But I want the diary to be my friend, and I'm going to call this friend Kitty. So she said, I don't want to write in the diary in a formal way as people write the date, time, and the event in the chronological order and all that. She says, I don't want to write in that way. She wants to treat her diary as a friend where she can write down anything she wanted in any manner she wanted. And that's the reason she gave her diary a name that is Kitty, because she considered her diary as her best Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty if I were to plunge right in, I would better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. So now Anne Frank, hoping that someone would read her diary one day, she thinks that writing without giving details about her background would be very ineffective because people won't be able to understand that. So she plans to write a brief sketch of her life, though she doesn't like to do so. Now, what she wrote: My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. That means when her parents married, her father was 36-year-old and her mother was 25-year-old. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on 12 June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father emigrated to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margot went to Holland in December, and I followed in February when I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margot. Now she continues that her elder sister, was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1962. 3 years after her birth, and was born on 12 1929. Till she was 4 years old, her family used to live in Frankfurt, Germany. After that, her father emigrated to Holland and her mother accompanied him. Both the children were sent to Aachen to stay with the grandmother, maybe for specific reason. Then in December, her sister Margot was sent to Holland, and she was sent to Holland in February, and she was presented to her as a birthday gift. Plunked means put down on the table as her birthday gift. I started right away at the Montessori Nursery School. So, first time she was sent to school in the Montessori Nursery School. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started in the first form. In the sixth form, my teacher was Mrs. Cuperis, the headmistress. So she started her schooling from first standard, and when she was in sixth standard, her headmistress was her teacher, and both had a mutual liking for each other. That's why they both were in tears when they bid farewell to Anne. In the summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation, so my birthday passed with little celebration. So, since her grandmother fell ill in 1941, so that year her birthday was not celebrated because her grandma had to undergo an operation. Grandma died in 1942, in January 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. She used to miss her grandma a lot, and for few months she didn't even write her diary. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other. That means to compensate the last year birthday celebration. Her this year, that means in 1942, her birthday was celebrated with great zeal and enthusiasm and on a larger scale. And Grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. The four of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20 June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. That means now she says that now we are only four of us and all of us doing good, and that sums up the brief introduction about her, and it also brings her to the present date of 20th June 1942. Now rest I will teach you in the next video. Till then, it's my sincere request, children, please read the chapter. Keep your books, textbook with you when you are listening to the video so that you can write the difficult meanings of the difficult words in your book itself. And please read the whole chapter thoroughly. And if you have got any doubt, you can ask me on my personal WhatsApp ID. Till then, have a great day. Bye bye.